I haven't actually worked on this piece for a bit over a year, so my memory of how it goes together is a bit shaky. I need to find 9 small instruments that I can dip in and out of water so that the sound changes. For instance, this one will work well. That's one sound, but I need 9 of these that are going to work spectacularly. I was originally trained as a violin player and piano player when I was quite young. Kept up piano for a long time, classical piano, but became really interested in finding another expression. So I got into percussion originally as a classical percussion player, and I went through the conservatorium in Adelaide and joined the orchestra in Adelaide and was working with them for quite a long time. Hey! And then I was on the side doing these weird, quirky performances. No one really turned up to the performances, no one really knew what I was doing or why I was doing it, but I couldn't stop doing it. So I went to study in America in San Diego and ended up staying there for 6 years. The gesture in percussion is really, really important. I mean, if you're playing a loud sound in percussion, there's going to be a really big wind-up to the sound. If it's a small sound, there's a small wind-up. So everything is amplified visually. I use voice a lot as a percussion instrument. Basically, it can be very percussive with, those kind of sounds. And a lot of composers now actually write in voice parts for percussionists to play. Fums betetsu begif kvier. Dit is een The Sonata comes from his interest in sound as having not necessarily explicit meaning, but inherent meaning. So no matter what I do, you will understand something, even if it doesn't actually make sense in any language. So I could say, Fums bevetetsu begif kvier. Dit is een and perhaps you will or will not understand something of what I said. So he uses these techniques but puts them really beautifully into absolutely classic Mozart-style sonata form. Beveretits, fums of a tits, 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 Ziuenza ziunskrmu, ziuenza ziurinskrmu, rakata bebe. I collect things whether they're percussion instruments or not. I mean, sometimes electrical appliances sound great, so they'll go into performances. Sometimes found objects that might just be rocks or sticks would sound interesting. And at other times, the most beautiful snare drum is what I really, really want that costs $2,000. The majority of the music I work on is composed music, in the same relationship as, say, Mahler would be to an orchestra or Beethoven would be to a piano player, whatever. So composers from Australia, the US, Europe have written pieces for me. And I, of course, play pieces that are written for other percussionists as well. I'm here looking for a couple of break drums to use in a piece that I'm premiering on the weekend, specifically written for break drums, which are, strangely enough, a fairly old and standard percussion instrument. It goes back to the days of the 30s of John Cage, where any instrument can make a beautiful sound and any sound can be music. I've decided to try and take the kind of music I do into a public space so that other people can hear it and see it as they walk past. It's exciting because it's really loud. Everyone in the entire museum is going to be forced to hear what I'm doing, but I think it should just be a public thing and people should like, hate, do whatever to it. It should be reacted to. This is a piece by Anthony Pateras and it has many exotic things. This is a beautiful Japanese doll. The air guns over here, which are operated by a foot pedal. Cap guns. There's marbles that will, during the piece, get splayed all over the other instruments. Played with my feet will be these things. There's the brake drums, which we've just bought. For the first time, I can say I do not have everything but the kitchen sink. There's a little toy keyboard here, which will be playing a really bad version of Carmen. Down the front, there are a whole lot of clock radios tuned to different stations. I also have a lot of light bulbs, which are going to be smashed into a bucket over there during the piece, just to add a little bit of drama. The composer is currently assisting me setting up dominoes The opening gesture of this piece is where I knock over a domino tree and 600 dominoes go flying.